Hello, my antisocial butterflies. Welcome back. And today with me, I have Lamar Robinson, who is our official host, right?
Yes, you are the
Yes.
host.
Yes. How you doing today, Lamar?
I'm doing well. I'm great. It's a beautiful day, you know what I mean? Like it's another day. Like the new year is almost here, so I'm super, super excited about that. Like New Year's Eve is like one of my favorite holidays. And 2020 been like hell, so I'm ready to get the hell up out of here.
And literally, you're getting the hell up out of there, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes.
Yes.
But yeah, so first I want to get started because you are the LMG official host. You're our favorite host. So you are very affluent is not the right word, but influential. I cannot talk today, sorry. Holiday brain.
Oh, good.
On Instagram, because you do your own show called Live with Lamar, and you have so many different people from so many different realms of the world that you are interviewing. So if you can talk to us a little bit about your show and what you do, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, so Live with Lamar, this is a new series. This is a new brand that I have created, that I have curated, that I am a part of, that has been amazing. You know, I just finished up the first season earlier this month, and it was amazing. You know what I mean? Just to see the journey, just to see the process, to see the growth, to see the support for the platform. It's been amazing. I had 11 guests this season that came on my talk show on Instagram Live. So it's exclusively Instagram Live, no YouTube, no Zoom, no Twitter, no nothing. You only can catch it on Instagram Live. And then once the interview concludes, you can then catch it on IGTV. But Live with Lamar is a platform where I interview extraordinary individuals, you know. So I sit down and we talk about their lives and their projects and what they have going on. My guest selection, I guess you could say, my casting calls, my selection of who I choose to interview really depends on what people have going on. It depends on the consistency, you know, the dedication to that brand and what you're doing, because a lot of people are like, oh, I'm a musician, or I'm a podcast host, or I'm a dancer, but like they don't upload content consistently. You know what I mean? The last time they uploaded a video was last January, and I'm like, there's nothing to talk about. It makes it hard. So I look for people that are really, 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 really grinding to bring them on the show and go live with Lamar. So that is my platform that I do.
Damn, that is a tough casting call. Woo! They got to make that cut. You're like, I need to see full evidence of you doing what you're passionate about and showing it consistently online, and then maybe I'll interview you.
And then
Wow.
maybe, you know, a lot of people hit me up and they're like, hey, you know, Lamar, can I get an interview? Or I see you do this, like, can I interview you? And I'm just like, I go look and I'm like, I'll have, and not even to be like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know where I want to say, but I really have to be like, I'll have my people contact you, or I'll reach out to you if I'm interested, or I'm booked up for this season. So I'll reach back out, you know, in the future, you know, if interested. And that's just be the truth. I don't mean to be cutthroat, but that's the truth. Like, if you're a musician, you know what I mean? I need to see that you're really into it, that you're really trying, that you're really focused, that your audience is engaged with you, and that's something that you're actually talented about. Like, not that you just woke up and you're like, oh, I want to be a rapper, so, oh, I need an interview. I just released my first song from recording in my bathroom closet. Like, no.
Bathroom closet.
Yeah, like legit. Like I need, like, do you have a studio? Like, are you have an album? Like a legit album cover? Like, I need to see you're putting in the work. Like, you can't come on my platform and disrespect my platform and you're not doing anything for your own. Like, it needs to align. Like, it has to align for both of us.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree with you. Now, in terms of Live with Lamar and being exclusively on Instagram, you know, how did you get started with this? What was your thought process of like, I want to interview people and this is the platform that I think is going to be the best fit for it?
Mm-hmm.
What was that brainstorming process?
So I've been doing interviewing, like, or multimedia personality, the whole realms for like 7 years now.
Wow.
I
Okay.
started it 7 years ago. I started as a Snapchat host. So I started my own show on Snapchat. And this was back when I was going with my former stage name, which was B Rob. And I was, you know, I remember on Snapchat, I was like I used to walk around with my phone. I had an Android at the time. And so I walk around with my phone around campus when I was in college, and I would just talk. You know what I mean? I was just talking on Snapchat and have my own little show. And that went on from Snapchat to YouTube. Now I'm interviewing guests on YouTube. Now I'm doing Instagram. And I love when Instagram created this Instagram live thing, because it allowed me to be able to interview guests no matter where they were at. So I love that. Like, that was really dope, because, you know, I didn't want to be secluded to just my city. You know, if I wanted to interview DJ Khaled, I could interview him. All I need him to do is pop up on Instagram Live and we can have an interview together. And so I went on from doing an interview and I had my former talk show known as That Life My Life. And That Life My Life was basically making your life my life is how the tagline was. And I used to interview people about their life, you know, like, tell me about Katie when you were your baby. Oh, okay. So how were you in your relationship with your parents? Did you go to college? Oh, how was college? Now, how did you know you wanted to become like, what made you come up with being an antisocial? I feel like I'm interviewing you now.
I know,
And
right?
that's how
I'm like, I don't know how to talk about myself.
And that's how it went. You know, I literally would interview you from little Katie until big Katie. And it's like, oh, now you're a grown woman. Now you have a podcast with over 25 episodes. Like, let's talk about that and get your fan base a more of a chance to understand you. And so, you know, I recently went through a branding change, a name change, because B-Rob, I just felt like was very high school, I created a name in middle school. And, you know, Bow Wow went from Bow Wow to Shad Moss. And I always wondered, like, hey, like, would I ever like get to a point in my life where I don't want to be B-Rob anymore and I'm 40 years old and it's like, oh, that's B-Rob. Like, I was like, And so, you know, I got some advice, of course, from our mentor and our guest at the time, Jason, you know, about, you know, hey, you might want to consider changing. And it all was perfect timing. And so, you know, I made that change and switch over to my middle name, which is Lamar. I love Lamar, always loved it. I'm actually named after my uncle. He was blind. He passed away years ago, but that's where I got my name from, Lamar. And so I've always loved it. It just seems so sophisticated and so sexy. So that's why I changed it to Lamar Robinson. And now we have Live with Lamar, where we're continuing doing interviews. It's a different niche, you know, instead of doing this whole life story timeline, I interview people that are not going to say relevant, but are doing current event things. So I wanted my stuff to be more live. So if I'm interviewing a guest, that guest just dropped the album last week, or this guest has a dance recital next week, or this actor has a big movie coming out in next week. So I wanted to make it more current instead of like, oh, I'm interviewing this actor, but he hasn't did a movie in like 2 years. Like, it's not really much to talk about. And so I wanted to change it to be like literally Live with Lamar. Now you're live with me. You know what I mean? Of course, the L and the L, you know, goes together. So why not?
Thank you for the alliteration because I'm all about it. So I'm like, Live with Lamar. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And you've actually had like a wide range of people. I mean, obviously we've been talking about this, but you've had people in the education system. You have like a foodie now on a diet journey. You've had musicians. Like, you have a wide range of people. Now, is it people that you go out and like scope yourself that actually make the cut? Or, I mean, like you said, people do come to you. But like, is it based mainly in Florida, or are all these people everywhere? I mean, Detroit Diamond, you just interviewed. So obviously in Detroit, right? But you have like a wide network out there. So
yes. So all my guests come from like all over. So some of my guests I know and some of them I don't know. Like I had Sammy, and he was the viral teacher that had students. His students were freestyling, so he would reward his students if they got good grades on their test by letting them freestyle on Friday. I don't know that man. Never met him. I only knew him through social media. And so like I seen the video and I was like, oh, perfect. And it was just perfect. You know, I had a spot open. I hit him up, said, hey man, like I would love to have you on the show to talk about this dope viral video because I work with students too. And he accepted an offer like that. The man has Rihanna. Rihanna follows him. So I was like, this man is not, Rihanna follows this man. And I was like, he's not going to respond. But he responded very quickly and he was very nice, very good, very great interview. And so it's a little bit of both. I do scout. You know what I mean? A lot of my friends I've already interviewed on my former platform. And also a lot of my friends, that's the same audience. So it's not going to help me grow as a host or my platform. So I don't want to interview people I know. So my guests come from all over. Like they're literally all over. Some are in Florida, some in Detroit, some in Ohio, some in Atlanta. Dwayne, you know, from American Idol. So all my guests have been literally all over.
That's incredible. That speaks a lot about your talent too, because if they're willing to have the chance to sit down and talk with you, I mean, you're going off of it knowing that they're relevant and they're doing big things, but obviously you're doing the same because they wouldn't want to interview with you if they didn't feel like you had good content out there. So you need to give yourself a pat on the back for that. Little shout out. Yeah. So awesome. So I want to circle back quickly because when I was first virtually introduced to you, you were B-Rob, right? Then you switched over. Can you tell people what the B stands for? Or are we keeping that in the past now? Even though it is your government name.
Yeah, no, it's okay. So the B stands for Brandon. Brandon is my government name. I was named, my grandmother actually named me, for you 90210 fans, the original series. My grandmother named me after Brandon from 90210. That was her favorite character on the show. And so that's how I actually got my name of Brandon Robinson. So that's where it is. Brandon Lamar Robinson. That's my full government name.
See, and I knew that story, but I never knew where Lamar came from. And I love that because you're keeping your uncle's legacy alive. And I love having family names within your name
Mm-hmm.
and doing it for generations. So I knew the
Absolutely.
Brandon aspect, but I didn't know Lamar. So I love that. That's
Yeah, there we go.
amazing.
That's the whole name. And the funny thing about Robinson even has a funny name. My granddad, some kind of way, messed up the lineage, and we got the Robinson, and but that's not supposed to be my name. It's supposed to be, I think, like Robertson or something like that. Like he misspelled it. Starting with my mom, and so my last name is not really attached to my family lineage. We literally started a whole new legacy from my mom on down.
Wow. So what do you plan on doing with the Robinson legacy? What do you want to be
Um,
like 5, 10 years from now?
Yeah, that's a good question. I just want to keep it going. You know what I mean? I want to continue being like a respectable man. I want to continue to nurture the world, nurture the youth, and just make Robinson a big household name. Because I'm in a complete different field and different area than my family. You know, I'm the first person to go to college. All my family lives in Pensacola, Florida. You know, I'm the only one that lives out. Me and my brother, who's in the military, he lives over in Germany, I believe. And so, like, he's out there. I'm in Tampa currently, and like and everybody else is in Pensacola. Literally everybody. My mom, my other siblings, my grandma, my granddad. Everybody else is all in Pensacola. And so, now I'm, heading to California, and so like I just want to continue to defy the odds. Challenge the status quo and be different than my small town because, again, a lot of them they're just, they're there. You know what I mean? I think they may like it there. I don't think they really care to move much. With me, I'm a social butterfly. I love flying. I love going out. I love people. I love partying. Like I'm extroverted, super extroverted.
I never knew that about you at all.
Introverted people make me nervous, actually,
Yeah,
because I
because
feel
you're
like I'm.
trying to like pull info out of them, like it's like pulling teeth. You're like, come on, have
Yes.
a conversation.
Yes, they're just and me. I can talk to anybody. Like it's no pressure. Like, which is so odd because I I tell people I grew up mute because I in middle school and like elementary and middle school, I didn't talk to anybody. And it wasn't until seventh grade that I feel like I actually started talking. And then it went from there from me being so nervous. But now, like, I can talk to everybody. Like, put me in a room, I'm gonna make friends. Easy.
Absolutely. I mean, I think you already have made friends with your platform, even starting on Snapchat. I mean, you probably have like Snapchat people that you're like, again, I don't know these people from Adam. Like they're coming on
Mm-hmm.
here, they're watching my
Mm-hmm.
show. And
Mm-hmm.
now having a social media platform such as Instagram where you are growing your network, it's like
Yes.
you're going to have friends all over the world that you don't know. And that's like the dopest thing about
Exactly.
it.
I love it. Like that's like me, and one of my new favorite apps is Clubhouse. Clubhouse is amazing. They need to make me a spokesperson because I really, really, really love Clubhouse. It's dope. And it's all it is just your voice and a profile picture. There's no DMs. There's nothing. Like you just have to interact with, and you get a chance to kind of feel people's thoughts. And so I've met people, in Philly and UK and California and Washington, like all over the world just from that app. And so like it's really dope.
Now, if Clubhouse goes public, would you still continue to use it or do you like the exclusivity of it?
I really, really love the exclusivity of it. Like the reason why I really don't want it to go public, and even though it's not public, there's people I've seen because I get notifications about people who join based on if they're in my contacts, and I just be like, what are you on here for? I don't want it to become like a normal app because it's so exclusive and it allows me to really network and really, I'm in a room with Joe Budden. Now I'm in a room with Nas. Now I'm in a room with Jason Lee or DJ Damage and just people that you don't immediately have access to. But this app allows that, like Mace was on there yesterday. There's so many people that are on there that it allows you to connect. When I love that it is exclusive because for me, there's some toxic things on there. There's some people that are using it to talk about, stuff we see on social media and on Twitter anyways. But I typically, sometimes I go in those rooms, but for the most part, I try to go into like journalists linking up or, a multimedia and personalities linking up. I try to go into those rooms or how do you grow your Instagram following? Like those are the rooms I try to go into to really learn because there'd be some important people in those rooms. And I just feel like if it becomes public, like every other social media, it's gonna become saturated and it's gonna become this drama-filled thing. I don't want to go on there and let's talk about why Offset and not Nicki Minaj, but Cardi B are not together again. I don't want to go into those rooms. Like, I got that on Instagram and Twitter. Like, first of all, it's not our business. Let them do them. But that's how social media becomes. Now we're so focused on everybody's drama, and I'm like, can I get on here to make connections and network?
Right. And I think that that's like the strong thing that's going to keep it going. I mean, since it is a private company, it's not publicly like traded or anything like that. I think that you do have the opportunity, but if it ever comes to that point, make your own app, make your own platform in that sense. And
I like that.
it could be the Lamar House now.
The Lamar House, exactly. Live with Lamar, exactly. We're gonna make it a whole app because I like it that is exclusive. It really makes it intimate. So
do you have an invite you can give me? No, I'm just kidding.
No, but really though, I gotta see. I might, if you are not on the app yet, huh?
I'm not on the app, so I was like, I would love to learn about this.
We gotta get you on the app. I got you. We gotta get you on the app because
thanks, boo.
It's really dope. I think I actually do have an invite. I'm gonna hook you up.
Ah, you are the best. Thank you.
I gotta get you on the app because like you would thrive on there.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Because the invite thing is so exclusive, and we only get like one every blue moon or two every blue moon. Just depends on how active you are, and depends on how active the people you invite are. So like a lot of people have wasted their invites because they've sent them out to like people that they thought would be on there. But as I mentioned earlier in the show, some people aren't consistent. So I'll send it to this person that I know wants to start a podcast, but he or she isn't doing anything. They're not using the app. So I got a whole wasted invite on this person who's not using it. Like, it's meant for you to be active. It's not Instagram. It's not Twitter. It's not Snapchat, or Facebook. You have to be active on it for yourself. That's the only way you can't just be there. Like, there's no point. You're wasting your time. And it's easy to get sucked into because it's very, very addicting. But besides that, like, it's so great. Like, I love it. It's really great.
Keep up with it because you never know who you're going to be meeting in those rooms.
That's the point. Exactly. Yes. You never know.
And whether it's you're learning something from them or you make a new connection. So when your new season starts with Live with Lamar, you already have like 10 interviews lined up because you're like, I've met all these people along the way. And now they've become, good contacts of mine.
Yeah, I have intentions of actually making a Live with Lamar version on Clubhouse to where, and that's an exclusive, where I sit down, where I will invite people on Clubhouse. You'll understand this terminology when you get on it, but like, I'll invite people to the stage and I will interview them one-on-one and give them a chance to pitch themselves. So Clubhouse is all about pitching yourself, and you're selling yourself. And so there's tons of people on there that I can like interview, and people will be in the audience and they can just listen to me talking to this person about, oh, what do you do? Are you into trading? Oh, so what's the trading lifestyle? What made you want to get into it? So what do you think about the people that think trading is a scam? Because a lot of people are scared to get into it because they think it's a scam. So there's people that are traders, there's people that are therapists, musicians, actors, producers, people that work for Fox Soul, people that work for BET, Viacom, like Def Jam, like everybody is on there. There's so many connections on Clubhouse.
This is amazing info. So yeah,
we gotta get you on there.
Yes, I was gonna say when I get that invite slid through to my email, I'll be like, beep, 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 beep.
I got you.
Yeah, so I appreciate it. So you kind of teased a little bit earlier, but you told us that you're going to California. So I want to dig in deeper because you are moving within the next week or so from Tampa all the way to LA. Like, that's huge. So let's take a moment to talk about that. Like, what made you decide that you wanted to go, and like, tell us everything about it. Like, I'm so excited.
Yeah. So I've been wanting to go to California for like years. Like, it's been my dream city for because everything is out there. Like, if I go on Indeed right now or LinkedIn and I search television and I'm here in Tampa, I don't find anything at all. Even when I was in Pensacola, nothing. I'll find local news stations and things of that nature. And a lot of my friends, and you may get this too, a lot of people be like, oh, have you tried working at, Channel 8 News or Channel 10 News? I'm like, yeah, but that isn't aligned with what I want to do. It's not entertainment. That's a whole nother spectrum. And so I've always wanted to go to California because if I search on Indeed in California, so many television opportunities pop up. DreamWorks, CBS Interactive, NBC Universal, BET, Viacom, Revolt TV. Like, you see it all on out there, and all the opportunities are out there. And so I've always wanted to go out there because I love it. I had an opportunity to visit in 2016 when I went out there to mentor these international students. So these international students were a part of this program, and their parents paid like $5,000 for them to come out there for like a month at UCLA's campus and like get the college lifestyle. And mind you, these kids like 11, 12, 13 years old, and they're getting a college experience. So I went out to LA for a summer, and I instantly fell in love. The weather, beautiful, not humid. The sun, beautiful. The breeze, beautiful. The beach, beautiful. Expensive, hell yeah. But like everything else was so amazing. And so like I was like, I gotta get out there. And so it's hard, like with California, everybody say, it's expensive out there, which it is. Like, what you got a job in? You got a place you're gonna stay? Like those are the questions people typically ask. And for me, I had to learn, and anybody will tell you, you're never going to be ready for California. You might, if you're rich, maybe, but like, you never going to be ready for it. Like, you can save up, cool, but like for California, you have to make the jump. When people say whenever you want to do something, you just have to make a jump. But with Cali, you really have to jump. And once you're off that ledge, you can't go back. You got to go smooth sailing on down to the platform for it to work. It's the only way it works. And so, I've always been wanting to go there, and the opportunity opened up, about a month or two ago, to where now I can go. It was kind of like, well, I'm tired of my job. You know what I mean? Like, I love my job. I work with kids. I work in social services. I love my students. I love my boys. You know what I mean? Tampa's cool. I got a lot of brothers and a lot of friends down here. Everything has been amazing. But ultimately, like, everything opened up. You know what I mean? My lease is up, soon. My job, I'm ready to leave. I put in my notice already. So like everything is like smooth sailing, and I'm just like, time to go. I'm walking out now, and now I'm too deep in. No, there's no turning back. I haven't renewed my fees. I already put in my notice for my job. Like, I already got my timeline planned out from going back home to going to Houston to going to LA. And so like, that's what it was. It just was literally a snap of the finger, and like, I walked off the ledge, and now I'm falling, and it's a long fall.
Yeah, but you have your parachute, so you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Yeah. Well, and I think that the stars aligned for you, because it's like you're nearing the end of your lease, which is a huge thing for just a living situation, to be locked in for another year to do that. Knowing that you're craving a change in your job, even though you do love it, it's something that you're like, okay, I'm ready to make a change for that. I just feel like everything kind of just fell into place at the right time. Mm-hmm. Whether or not you were necessarily ready for it, or you wanted to wait another year, or whatever it is, like, the opportunity was literally just handed to you. So you're like, I would be a fool not to take this opportunity and like just do what I got to do, and to move across country. I mean, I think it's huge, even though like your family, they may love Pensacola or whatever, but it's huge for you to have removed yourself from what you're so comfortable with and conquer Tampa. But now, like, I think they're admiring you so much to be like, not only am I moving to a different city in our state, now I'm literally going to move all the way across the country.
All the way, a whole 3. No, for them it's a 2-hour difference. A whole 2-hour difference. Nope, it's like 4. It's a difference in general. It's 3 hours for me. It's like 4 hours for them. Yeah, it's a whole time difference.
Yeah. No, but I mean, that is incredible, because it's not easy. I mean, even for me, I live an hour and a half away from where I grew up, in Boston, back to Cape Cod, so it's like pretty easy. It's a quick drive to get there. Would I move somewhere else? I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I literally just turned 36. I'm like, am I ready for this? Am I an adult? Like, it's so crazy. And I'm just like, but when am I going to be ready for that? If I were to make the move, I'm never going to be, and I just think I just commend you. I think it's like such a huge thing. And I know we've been talking about it, but I am so excited to see all of the footage that you have, starting this road trip in Tampa and going home for the holidays, making your way to Houston, making your way to LA, and everything in between, because you're going to see weird stuff on your trip. You're going to have some great memories. You're going to be tired, from driving so many hours, but it's worth it to like really document this huge chapter in your life.
Absolutely. Like, it's going to be amazing. Like, just to see and just to get out, like, because once I'm out there, it's over with. Like, I'm just hungry. I'm excited. I'm ready to meet people. I'm ready to connect. I'm ready to just make this television dream happen, and whatever facet it may be. And I'm ready. Like, I'm so ready to just go out there. Because I've been living so temporary since college. You know what I mean? Like, since I've gotten to college, it was always just like having little things here and there. But like now I can go to California and actually set myself up, like actually get a real like doctor and get a dentist and like get real furniture and get a coffee table and get a side table and like get furniture because like I know I'm set now.
Yeah.
Like I'm there. Like I don't have no intentions of moving. The only thing that's gonna move me is an earthquake and a fire that's really bad. You know what I mean? But other than that, like I'm so ready, you know what I mean? And LA is in its own bit of a lockdown because of COVID, of course, and everything that's going on. But that's good because that allows me to focus instead of getting out there and getting lost in the sauce and being unfocused. So I'm excited. Like I need to be in that space.
Absolutely. And I think you're leaving your B-Rob persona and furniture and all of that behind to now get Lamar Robinson furniture, Lamar
Yes.
Robinson dentist, Lamar
Yes.
Robinson primary care
Care
doctor.
doctor, right?
You're elevating your whole life to be Lamar Robinson. I mean, you really are like growing not only like with your on air or on internet persona, but like just as a human being. Like this is like a huge growing, elevating time in your life, which is so incredible. Yeah.
It's amazing. Like it's gonna be good. It's allowed like it's a whole new chapter. Like a whole new chapter that, I always dreamed of and now it's here and now I feel comfortable and set as Lamar. I feel comfortable and set with my career. I've come a long way for 7 years. 7 years is amazing because like 2013, talking like this, being able to interview my platform, the growth from that, like my life to Live with Lamar, like it's so different. You know what I mean? Like Damage told us a couple weeks ago, go back and watch your first interview and, for me, first episode. And for me, obviously my first episode isn't Live with Lamar, like I have to go way, 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 way back.
So the archives where you probably didn't even have facial hair at that point.
I had nothing. I barely got any now. But like back then I was in college and like rough, like skinny. I had less tattoos. Like it was a whole different person back then. Like I've learned so much. And with hosting and being a personality, as you know, it takes some skills, learning how to enunciate your words and how not to talk so fast and how to keep your personality and how to keep a smile on your face and how to do interviews and how to talk to people. Like that's a talent that a lot of people don't have. People are scared to talk to people. We aren't. You know what I mean? Like we love it. Like it's not easy. It's nothing about our profession is easy. It's a whole nother thing that a lot of people don't do. We can't go to college to teach this. You can for a little bit. You can go there and learn like speech etiquette and how to write and how to formulate your words. Yeah, but for the most part, this takes talent. It takes personality, and you can't teach personality. You either got it or you don't.
Exactly. No, I totally agree with you. And even though this is not my full-time job, maybe one day it will be. Who knows? I mean, it's definitely going to be for you, for sure. Yeah, of course. Yes. Oh, thanks. But it's 100% like totally right what you said. I mean, it takes that human connection that you cannot teach to anybody. And not everybody can do this. Not everybody can read a teleprompter and not everybody can do, knowing how to work the mic and do this. And everybody's like, oh, piece of cake. I could do that. I could do that. It's actually really, challenging at times and knowing how to react when your equipment's not working or like on Zoom, if the connection gets lost or whatever it is. I mean, you have to adapt to your situation pretty quickly and recover from it pretty fast that you can be like, okay, the show must go on. Even though all the challenges that you have built up against you. So
yeah, it's never an easy process. You know what I mean? I went through so many trials and errors. Like even the first episode of Live with Lamar, I forgot to put my phone on the charger. It was already dying and I've got to put it on there and like it died. My phone died in the middle of the interview. So at the first half of my interview with Dwayne, I lost the footage because it's live on Instagram. And so I don't have that first 10 minutes of the interview because my phone died. And it's like in the past, like in the beforehand, something like that probably would have triggered me really bad. But because I'm used to that, it was like whatever. It's like, hey, plug in. I'm like, hey, sorry guys, like I missed the first 10 minutes. Okay, but we're back with Dwayne. Like, let's get it going. That's how right back where we're at. So you were on American Idol this season. So I just went right back into it. You have to act like nothing didn't happen because one thing I've learned in showbiz, anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Yes.
It absolutely will. My light could die right now. My phone could die right now. Our connection can be interrupted. Like anything can happen. And you just have to keep the show going because if I'm live on MTV or if I'm hosting New Year's Eve in Times Square and the feed goes wrong, we just have to hop back on that TV and go back like nothing ever happened. Like, hey guys, sorry about that. But yeah, we got Beyonce coming up on stage next. So like she's ready to get out there and shake a tail feather. Like, you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready. Like, you got to.
Absolutely. So, okay, what is your dream job now that you're moving to LA? And I know that you're really putting yourself out there to become established in LA and to be known in LA. Like, what is your dream network? Or if you want to create your own network, like, what is your ultimate dream for being out there?
So my ultimate dream is honestly just to become a multimedia personality, to become a host. I would love to host for a major platform, whether digital or television or Hulu or Netflix. I would love to just be a talk show host. Well, I don't want to say talk show. I'll get into that a little bit, but mainly just be a host, you know, where I can be myself, be my vibrant, charismatic self, so where I can have fun and be a little bit ratchet. And so like that's literally me, like to be able to own a stage and have a microphone or a lavalier and just be able to talk and spread my personality across the world. Which ultimately, you know, I want to lead into me getting my own platform. So hopefully Live with Lamar becomes its own talk show one day. And then in the end, for me, I do want to have my own multimedia company to where I nurture and I help build personalities, you know what I mean? Where I can build hosts to continue in this market. Where I can have my hands in media, I can have my hands in television and music and movies. Like I want, like P. Diddy, you know what I
Yep.
mean? Like I really would love to have like what Diddy has. Diddy has a whole mastermind with Bad Boy and Revo, to where he, you know, he's just top. He's done everything and now he's just the top of it. And now he's able to just nurture the future generation. So I want my own media company, you know, Lamar Robinson Entertainment, you know, Lamar Robinson Television. Or something different, you know, where I'm just able to continue to aid in the media industry once I'm able to retire from having fun on the mic and have my own talk show.
I love this for you. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of building time, building your platform, building your business. It's all coming. You're still so young. So it's like,
Right. I'm so young. I feel young. I'm only 27. I turned 27 back in November. Like, I feel so young.
I know. We're only what? I'm so bad at math right now. 19 days apart. Yeah. I mean, we're plenty of years apart, but yeah, 19 days apart. I've already disclosed my age, but yeah, I'm an old lady, but whatever. All right. So another random question that I had for you, and you just talked about it a couple minutes ago. Wow. About your tattoos. I want to know, how many tattoos do you actually have?
I have, look at this, a lot. Yes.
And they're on your chest too. People can't see that. I don't know if you want to take your shirt off, whatever, but yeah.
They're literally everywhere. There's a lot. Dang, I feel so tatted.
Well, because you are so tatted.
I am. How many do you think I have? Let's play this game. Guess.
I'm gonna say 30.
I wish. I think in the end I will have 30, but I have 20.
Okay. No, well, do you have any on your legs yet?
Nope.
Okay, well, there's more space right down there.
There's a lot. I gotta finish this sleeve up. I got space on here. I gotta finish up. I gotta do my back. I want one back here. I got some space on my stomach. I'm tatted all right here and on my sides. I got space right here. So there's some spaces, and then COVID has made me consider a lot of other spaces that I never thought. Like my legs, I never would have thought but I think I kind of want some tattoos on my legs too. So
please never do your face.
Oh no.
Thank you.
I would never do that. No, just behind, this is the closest I would get, you know what I mean, behind there. I would never, like literally, and it's gonna be small, like literally small behind my ear. But no, I would never, no.
Your face is way too beautiful. And if you're gonna be an on-air host, or you're interviewing to be an on-air host, they're like, who the hell, the 6'9" Juice WRLD type?
I don't want to do that. No, I can't. Nope, I'm not. So this is it. And even with these, you know, all my tattoos can easily be covered up. You know, I can easily wear a long sleeve shirt and then you don't know I have tattoos. A lot of people, some people don't know I have as many tattoos. Like once I take my shirt off, they're like,
damn,
bro, where all these tattoos come from? I'm like, oh, it's like I have a lot.
But it's a way to express your personality and things that are meaningful to you. So
that's literally it.
Yeah, and I think life is changing, or generations and their outlook on things are changing, because I don't feel like hair colors being at the workplace or tattoos at the workplace, piercings, all of that is as faux pas as what it used to be.
Right.
You know, it's like, why not? Like, my job doesn't define who I am as a person. This is literally, you're just helping me pay my bills.
Exactly.
If I have like orange hair and 30 tattoos and like a couple piercings,
so what?
that doesn't define. Yes, in my work ethic. So I'm like, keep getting those tats, keep getting those piercings. I see that your nose ring. I'm like, keep going.
Yes.
Going. Would you get any more piercings?
I think I'm done with the piercings. Like, my ears are pierced too. So my ears are pierced and my nose is pierced, but I don't think I would do anything more. In high school, I used to want my eyebrow pierced over here, like right there. I wanted a little thing, but that was just a phase. So
I was gonna say, but you're over that now. You're like,
yeah. And the nose piercing became over the years, and I was like, oh, I want it. I was like, I don't know what people are gonna think, what people are gonna say. But then that was my issue, what people were gonna say and people think. And I was like, I want it. And so I got it. And I was like, I didn't care to get it and like waste the money. So I was like, if I get it, I don't like it, I can take it out, whatever. It's not a waste of money because I wanted it. But then when I got it, I was like, I love this. And I did end up taking it out like 3 months after I got it pierced, and then I started missing it. And then I was like, get it back. And I love it. And I'm never taking it out again. I love it, love it, love it.
no, and as you should. I mean, if you're gonna invest that time and that pain into your body, I mean, not that it's like huge, like pain. I mean, I just got my tattoo recently. I'm like, oh, I think it's infected again. Like the other one on my other
first tattoo.
Oh, it's my fourth.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, but the one on my other ankle on my left side, oh, that's a whole story. I literally had to be on like 2 weeks of antibiotics. It was like infected. There was like pus and blood dripping out of it. It was disgusting. I got it in when I was in college. And I originally had a different place for the tattoo I just got, but the size of it, we're like, no, we got to do it on the ankle. And the kind of the same thing is happening again. So I think I might be allergic to the color. But I'm like, shit, doing this all over again. So I'm like, but would I get another tattoo? Hell yes, I would.
Yes, tat it up.
Tat. Whoop, tat. But am I ever gonna do one on my ankles again? No, that's it. I'm like, I'll focus on other areas maybe that are not so sensitive. So damn,
that's what it comes down to.
The rough life. Have you ever had any issues with your tattoos, or have you been smooth sailing?
No, smooth sailing. I'm very particular about who I let tap my body, what I get on my body. Like I'm because it's my body. I can't scar it. So I take pride in my tattoos. I love my tattoos. They all 20 tell a story.
Do you have an absolute favorite one?
That's so I don't know.
This is the hardest question of this interview, right?
I guess for the interview purpose, one that I would share would probably be this one. Oh, right there, boom, right there. Yeah, King. It says King on it. And it's my suicide survival tattoo. So I actually survived suicide. So in King, it actually, the I is actually a semicolon.
And I didn't realize that till you literally just turned it, because I thought it was just like a lowercase I didn't see that. That's incredible.
So it's a semicolon. So that's my King tattoo. And so I had some battles with mental health and suicide back in high school. And so this tattoo was in remembrance, you know what I mean, that, I realized and valued my life. And I'm a big mental health advocate, so I guess this is good for me to share as well. I'm big on mental health. I think it's important for everybody, especially men, especially Black men, for us to tap into that, because that's such a thing with our culture to where it's shunned so much and not having emotions and things like that. But we go through things because we're taught to be so tough and like no. So yeah, I had my past with it, but this is probably one of them. I got this when I moved to Tampa, so it's so small, but yeah, this might be one of my favorite ones. I love all of them, but I give that one because it has a very strong message that I like to spread to the world. So this is perfect for me to share with your followers.
No, and thank you for telling that, because that means a lot. And as small as it may be, it's like probably more powerful than any of the other tattoos that you do have, even though the other ones have meaning. I mean, that is like the biggest thing, because you have overcome those struggles that you had in the past. And it's like, yes, it's a great remembrance. And you're like, no, this is what I went through. and this is what I'm gonna like continue, like, you know, your social work with these boys
Mhm,
that you work with. And it's
mhm,
like, just because you want to like have this dream to be an on-air personality, multimedia personality, you're still like doing such an important thing for your community and helping these kids understand that mental health is important, especially being, you know, Black or other ethnicities that are down in Tampa that you may be
mhm,
working with, on how important it is to like really advocate for yourself, stand true to
mhm,
yourself,
mhm,
seek help if you need it, you know, and not be
mhm.
ashamed of it. I mean, that's huge stuff.
Bars.
Yes.
Bars. You just spit
Drop
bars.
them. Yeah.
Drop them. That was perfect. You said everything. Advocating for yourself. Understanding. You know, and I work with, you know, mainly minorities. So I work with a lot of Hispanic students and a lot of Black students. So, you know, and all boys, you know, and they're the ages of 11 through 17. And so they're the age to where they kind of don't really get it and understand. They have all this media and social media and Fortnite and things that are all around. So they're not getting it, you know, they're normalizing. I'm like, hey, bro, like it's okay. And a lot of my boys, they actually open up to me, which I appreciate. You know, they're a lot. I will give them more credit. They are a lot more in tune with their emotions than some other people. Some grown people, you know, they are in tune with their emotions, and they may not be able to share their emotions with their families and their mom and dad because, come on now, let's face it, it's difficult to talk to your parents sometimes about certain things. But for them, like, you know, they come to me, they come to my office, and they open up to me, and I appreciate being that listening ear to give them some advice, because they're like my little brothers. I'm really only 10 years older than most of them, so it's like I'm like, hey, I was just there yesterday, man. Like I get you, I understand.
Yeah. But even just in 10 years, you have to take a look at the fact that like kind of erasing the stigma between mental health and, you know, not talking about it, not admitting that you may have issues with it. I mean, that was when you're going through high school. When I was going through high school, you couldn't really ever talk about that. Or if you did have a mental health issue, people are going to just deem you as crazy, insane. Oh, they're attention seeking. I mean, there's so many different things that you could get categorized as without fully understanding what mental health really is all about. And so I think like as we continue to grow as a generation and generations behind us will grow, I think that the acceptance and understanding of it is so much more welcome and accepted. And I love the fact that you are telling these kids that like it is okay to talk about this, whether or not
Yes.
you can talk to your parents or certain individuals about it, that they feel safe enough coming to you. And that in itself is like incredible. So keep up that work, even when you are a multimedia, like multi-million follower personality. Like I know that you're always going to have that like in your corner that you're going to, you know,
Absolutely. I will
yeah.
always work with kids in mentor capacities. Like I want to start my own group home. I want to start my own mentor center. Like, yeah, I'm always going to tap into that. Like always. Youth and mentoring are and youth mentoring and mental health are like big staples of my life that I really want to always make sure I tap into.
And when we talk about legacy, this is what you're doing. You're creating the Lamar Robinson legacy.
Hey,
Yeah,
LLL.
I love this. No, it's like incredible. I mean, there's so much behind you. And although we've only met like virtually, it's so nice to hear about your story from so many different facets, you know, from little Lamar to big Lamar. Well, little Brandon to big
Right, to Big
Lamar.
Lamar. Exactly.
No, this has
Now
been
we
great. So this has been so great chatting with you. Honestly, it's nice to hear more about your story.
yeah, it's been
Yes.
amazing.
And you have to come back like once you're like settled in LA. I want to hear how the transition was and how you're, you know, navigating life over there. And I
Yes,
might
bring me
have to
back.
come for a visit because now, you know, we got a handful of people in Philly and I just visited them. And then sorry work. And then and then there's a handful of people in LA. So it's like obviously I have to do my Antisocial US world tour, whatever you want to call it. We do have, well, I have to call it world tour because Laura is in the Cayman Islands. So maybe we have to do like a
Mm,
little retreat there.
right, get a little cruise. Yeah, she had to show
Yes.
us around.
Yes. So but I gotta make it out to LA, see how you're adjusting with your new West
Yeah,
Coast life.
definitely. Come on out there. I can. Well, hopefully we're off lockdown.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till you're settled, till things open up again. Who knows with this vaccine if it's really gonna help and we can really like be a non-mask wearing society again. We'll see what happens, but
Right, I'm so tired of masks.
I know
Oh,
I
my
have
mask. I forgot my mask. I keep mine hanging on my little in my car on my blinker stick thingy in my
yep.
car. It hangs right there, so I can just and I hang it right back up.
Yep, I have so many different. My roommate was actually in my car the other day. She's like, "How many masks do you have?" Because I have a bunch. And I showed her this bag that I have. I'm like, "Well, there's different colors, and this one has sparkles, and this one
And
is,
you
you
need
know, this
different
one
ones for
is."
different outfits.
Of course, you know how hard it is to be a woman and like your outfits. I'm like, you need things to match. And then for work, I have to either wear disposable ones or wear all black. So I have like tons of black ones, but I'm like, you got to mix
Wow.
it up because I'm not always at
Yes.
work, you know.
Yes, exactly. I get you. Trust me. I get you.
Oh man, but it's so crazy, but so good to talk to you. But before we end this, Lamar, I want you to drop all your social handles where we can find you so people can now love and appreciate you as much as I do. So if you would be so kind to let everybody know where we can find you.
Definitely. So you can follow me on Twitter at Live with Lamar. So I'm on there sometime cutting up. Clubhouse and Instagram is Lamar Robinson TV. Facebook Lamar Robinson, LinkedIn Lamar Robinson. So Lamar Robinson pretty much get you tapped in with me. I believe on TikTok I am Lamar Rob TV. I believe it is. So tap in with me there too. I'm making my comeback. I was big on TikTok when in March. I fell off, but I'm back now, so
I
tap
was
in with me.
just gonna ask if you were a big TikToker. I have an account and I've posted zero. I don't know. I'm like, I'm not that coordinated anymore. I'm like, I can't be doing those dances. Listen, we got to make you viral on there.
Please, I'm trying to. Like, I'm trying to. I gotta, and because I'm obviously in a different brand in my life, so I'm going at it a different way than I did before. Because before I was just having fun. It was very fun. TikTok is fun, and it's a perfect. It's funny. It's very funny.
Are you still on Snapchat?
You see some very talented.
Yeah. Are you still on Snapchat? No, you're like, I'm
Not
over
at
that.
all.
So
Yeah,
we
I don't. Yeah,
cannot
I
find
have
you.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it, but like follow me on there with like, there's no point. It's there because I have all my memories. Like, there's a lot of Snapchat memories, but I don't use it
Yeah.
honestly.
You're like, I'm over that platform. On to the
Yeah,
next.
down to the next. Once Instagram got stories, it was a wrap for me.
Yeah.
But now Twitter has stories too, but I don't use Twitter stories. And Facebook has stories too. I don't use Facebook stories. I only use Instagram stories.
Same with me. I'm like, well, I don't even have a Twitter, but I'm just like, Facebook stories aren't for me.
They're not. Like, Facebook is really just my family hub, like my little phone book
Yeah.
of old classmates, old teachers, and family.
Yeah.
And I pop up every, and I don't even use Facebook. I just pop on there to post like a picture every other month. Like, literally, like months go on. I'm like, oh, hey, by the way, here's a new picture of me. Just checking in. Bye. And I go
Yeah.
off.
And you're like, and they're like, okay, glad to see you're doing well and you're working on
That's
this,
literally
or,
it.
you know,
Literally it.
you're having your bottomless mimosas or whatever.
Bottles, mimosas, and shots of tequila. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, you better have the tequila ready. I don't even drink, but that's the only thing I will drink. So when I come to LA, you better have some ready on tap.
We got you. We drinking 1942.
Oh, we fancy, huh?
We fancy. We drinking 1942. We got you.
All right, because I'm like, otherwise I just drink Patron. So
Or we do, and that's cool. We gonna drink some. You coming in? It's a special day. We gotta pop up the good bottle.
yes, I'm so excited.
To.
Lamar, you are the best. Thank you so much, and I'm so excited to have you back. Hopefully for season 3.
Yes, invite me back. I'll be there.
Yes, you are the best. Thank you again. I really appreciate you. All right, and then say your ending tagline.
All right, guys. Goodbye. It is your official host, Lamar Robinson. Make sure you follow me on all my platforms at Lamar Robinson TV and check in for season 2 of Live with Lamar coming at you. We going live, baby.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Lamar. I appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.